Do you believe in fate? 2 years ago, when I was in North Africa, I have tortured many Allied soldiers. One day, I have ordered the torture of a British agent who was captured on one of our battleships. He was weak when he arrived at our prison camp. I ordered the torture every day to know about his superior. On the first day of torture, he was almost about to talk. But as time passed, he was becoming more quiet, as if he wasn't feeling the pain anymore. I wasn't there when he was tortured, but I was there when he was captured. When I returned to see him after 2 months of torture, he wasn't the same. He was strong. I ordered him to be executed 1 week after my departure from Africa. But I have learned from one of my lieutenants that he managed to escape. He told me that they would find him and kill him easily, as most of North Africa was under our occupation at the time. But one night, in Germany, days later, he came from the shadows to kill me. His pain was more than his presence. He traveled all the way from North Africa to kill me. He wasn't following orders from any government, but fate decided I was made to stay alive, as he had to leave because of my truth. And not too long after our previous encounter, I have learned from one of my spies in England that this agent was from the OSA, Frank Webley, codename Agent 1. Does that name sound familiar to you, BJ Blazkowicz? Yes. I think your friend wanted to survive all of my torture and disobey his superiors just to get revenge. But in the end, he failed, and he died like a dog. Just like how you're fated to, because no one is stronger than death.
But I'm not like him.
Might as well fail to kill a freaking Nazi!
Death's Head wants you alive to see the uprising of the Dark Army. But in what state? Do you really need both your eyes to see the new order? Do you need your tongue to scream? I don't think so. The expression on your face does not please me, but I think we could fix that. And I have the perfect solution.
Death's Head wants him to see the uprising of the Dark Army.
But why though? From what I've heard, the Allied Dog has ruined Operation Eisenfast.
Yeah, and even killed Dr. Shabs.
Exactly! That American swine deserves to burn in hell for everything he's done!
I know, but what can we do about it? Death's Head really insists on having this spy see the upcoming event. Besides, I never did like Dr. Shabs.
That's not to let Carl hear you say that. I've heard that he was once friends with Shad before he went to Africa.
Always thought he was insane. But aside from that, we don't decide what to do with the spy. All we can do now is wait.
Yeah, I hear you.
Who are you?
Standartenführer Kurtz. I was sent here under orders from Lieutenant General von Stark.
Really?
I got orders my baby. He wants me to interrogate the prisoner, effective immediately. Now if you would just kindly open the cell door.
That's funny, because Lieutenant Colonel von Stark has already done so. In fact, you never heard any mention of Standarten via Kurt. Who the hell do you think you are?
Remember me? It's Carter Villica of the Christ Officer of Wolfenstein. I came to get you out of this hellhole. God, what did those sick bastards do to you? But anyway, I took this stand off of one of the soldiers who tried to kill me. Just like old times, okay? Let's go before more than I must apologize for the scare. Castle sent me to operations of the car. I saw you captain something. As far as the war I did a pretty remarkable job of being my costume.
I cannot go any further. I have to make my escape and return to Wolfenstein. When I do that, you must find Death's Head and put an end to the Dark Army once and for all. They're counting on you, Agent.